The signal scientists couldn't explain. It arrived without warning. No message, no pattern anyone recognized. For decades, scientists have been listening to the universe. Radio telescopes scanned the sky, filtering out noise, cataloging stars, mapping galaxies. Most of what they heard was familiar. Pulsars ticking like clocks. Background radiation whispering from the early universe. Static shaped by distance and dust. Then something different appeared. A signal that did not repeat on a predictable cycle. Not a burst, not a pulse, not interference. It emerged briefly, vanished, then returned altered, stronger in some frequencies, absent in others, refusing classification. At first, it was dismissed. Equipment malfunction, atmospheric distortion, human technology bouncing back from orbit. Every mundane explanation was tested. Each one failed. This was the first reveal. The signal was real. It did not match any known astrophysical source. It was too structured to be random, yet too irregular to fit existing models. Its energy profile suggested distance, but its coherence suggested intent, not purpose, pattern. To understand why this mattered, we need to remember how science treats anomalies. Most disappear under scrutiny. A few survive. Those that survive often change everything. As data accumulated, researchers noticed something unsettling. The signal was not constant. It reacted. When observation methods changed, the signal's properties shifted. When frequency bands narrowed, new structures appeared. When timing windows adjusted, correlations emerged. This suggested something deeply uncomfortable. The signal was not independent of observation. It was entangled with it. Scientists were not just receiving information. They were interacting with it. And that interaction challenged a fundamental assumption, that signals exist whether or not we are listening. Because this one seemed to behave differently. And the more carefully it was studied, the stranger became. What scientists thought was noise began organizing itself. And what they thought was structure began dissolving. The signal scientists couldn't explain was not announcing itself loudly. It was responding. And that response hinted at a deeper mystery still unfolding. As analysis deepened, the signal resisted every attempt to stabilize it. When researchers averaged the data, coherence vanished. When they focused on short intervals, structure emerged. The signal did not reward persistence. It rewarded timing. This led to a troubling realization. The signal existed on the edge of detectability, too weak to dominate, too structured to ignore. It behaved like a system balancing between presence and absence, as if revealing too much would collapse it, and revealing too little would erase it. Patterns began appearing only when data was treated differently. Instead of searching for repetition, scientists searched for correlation. Instead of frequency, they analyzed transition. The signal did not repeat. It evolved. This was the deeper reveal. The signal carried state. Each appearance depended on the last. Subtle shifts accumulated. Changes followed history. It was not broadcasting a message. It was expressing a process. This ruled out most known sources. Natural phenomena repeated. Machines broadcast consistently. This signal adapted, not intelligently, but responsively, like a system adjusting to constraints. The conflict intensified when researchers compared notes across observatories. Each facility detected a slightly different version of the signal, not because of error, but because of interaction. Measurement methods shaped outcomes. The signal was not lying in space waiting to be heard. It was forming at the interface between observer and environment. This echoed uncomfortable themes from quantum physics, measurement affecting outcome, observation shaping reality, concepts once confined to particles now appearing at cosmic scales. The emotional tension grew when simulations reproduced similar behavior. When artificial systems were pushed to the edge of detection, their outputs became sensitive to how they were measured. Structure emerged only through interaction. This suggested something radical. The signal was not an object, it was a relationship. And one scientist recognized that. The question changed. Not what is the signal, but what kind of universe produces phenomena that only exist when they are observed? The conflict reached its peak when scientists confronted the implications of that question. If the signal only existed through interaction, then searching for its source might be meaningless. There was no fixed origin to point to, no distant object transmitting information. The phenomenon was emergent. This forced a painful reevaluation of method. Science had always assumed separation. The observer here, the phenomenon there, but the signal erased that boundary. Every attempt to isolate it changed it. Every effort to define it caused it to slip into a new form. This created division within the scientific community. Some argue the signal was an artifact of analysis, a mirage created by overinterpretation. Others counter that artifacts do not adapt. They do not carry history. They do not respond. The emotional buildup intensified when the signal appeared to anticipate observation. In rare instances, anomalies emerged milliseconds before detection systems fully engaged. Not prediction. Correlation, as if the system's behavior was coupled to the act of measurement itself. This was not communication. It was synchronization. The idea was deeply unsettling. Synchronization implied coupling. Coupling implied shared dynamics. The signal was not separate from the measuring apparatus. It was part of a larger system that included the observer. This mirrored emerging theories in physics, that reality at its deepest level is relational, that properties do not exist independently, but arise from interaction. The signal was no longer an anomaly. It was evidence that some phenomena cannot be pinned down because they are not things. They are processes unfolding between components. The peak of tension arrived when scientists realized something else. If the signal depended on observation, then increasing sensitivity would not clarify it. It would destabilize it. The more aggressively it was pursued, the less it resembled itself. This placed science in an unfamiliar position. Understanding required restraint. Control required distance. The signal scientists couldn't explain was not hiding from us. It was warning us. Warning that not everything in the universe can be captured without changing what it is. And that realization led directly to the final, sobering insight. The climax arrived with a realization that forced science to slow down. The signal was not something to be decoded. It was something to be encountered. What scientists couldn't explain was not a failure of instruments or theory. It was a mismatch between expectation and reality. The universe was offering a phenomenon that did not exist independently, waiting to be captured. It existed only through relationship. This reframed the entire mystery. The signal was not a message sent across space. It was an emergent pattern formed where observation met uncertainty, a phenomenon that appeared only when conditions allowed interaction without domination. The resolution was subtle but profound. Not all knowledge comes from extraction. Some truths only appear when approached gently, when measured without forcing, when observed without demanding permanence. This matters now because modern science and technology are built on amplification, stronger signals, faster detection, deeper penetration. We assume that more power always leads to more understanding. The signal challenged that belief. It suggested that some aspect of reality would draw under pressure. That clarity can destroy what it seeks to reveal. That meaning sometimes exists only at the edge of perception. The signal scientists couldn't explain did not reveal an alien intelligence or a cosmic message. It revealed a limit, a boundary where observation becomes participation and control becomes interference. And in that boundary lies a lesson we are only beginning to understand. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective becomes the beginning of a new future. The